Welcome back to the deep dive. I want you to just close your eyes for a second.
Okay.
Imagine a library. But this isn't, the public library down the street with the fluorescent lights and the Dewey Decimal System. This is something else.
I'm intrigued.
It's late at night. There's this heavy velvet silence in the room. There's a fireplace cracking in the corner, and it's throwing these long, dancing shadows against walls that are just lined floor to ceiling with books.
And I'm guessing these aren't just novels or biographies.
No, not at all. These books, they contain the blueprints of reality itself.
Ah.
We are settling in for a conversation tonight that is going to feel a bit like a ghost story, a bit like a graduate-level physics lecture, and surprisingly, a bit like a therapy session for a frustrated writer.
That is quite the setting you've painted. And frankly, given what we're covering today, I think that late-night, slightly mysterious vibe it's entirely appropriate.
Oh, yeah.
We are dealing with some high strangeness today.
High strangeness is an understatement. But before we pull a specific book off the shelf, I have to make our standard but very important declaration.
Go for it.
This podcast is distributed free of charge on all major platforms for educational purposes. We are here to learn, to explore, and, well, to have our minds thoroughly dismantled and reassembled.
Hopefully with all the pieces put back in the right order.
No promises there. So guide us in. What's the map for our exploration today?
We are opening the early sessions, book 3 of the Seth Material. Specifically, we are doing a forensic analysis of session 109.
Which is such a fascinating era of the material. I mean, this is the early days.
Very early.
Jane Roberts and her husband Robert Butts, who Seth calls Ruburt and Joseph, they're still basically rookies at this. They're still figuring out, the mechanics of channeling.
Exactly. And just to ground us in time, which, as we're about to find out, is a completely ironic concept.
Right.
The date of record for this session is Monday, November 23, 1964.
1964. Wow. So the Beatles have just conquered America. The Cold War is freezing everyone's nerves. And in a little living room in Elmira, New York, a woman is going into a trance to talk about things that, quantum physicists are still arguing about 60 years later.
It really is ahead of its time. Our mission today is to unpack a session that honestly reads like a hard sci-fi thriller. We are going to explore the concept of the spacious present, which effectively deletes the Big Bang.
Deletes the Big Bang. Okay.
We're going to discuss negative matter.
Negative matter. Even the name sounds like something you probably shouldn't touch.
It does. It has a vibe. And we're going to talk about why, according to this session, you might have a doppelganger in a parallel universe who looks like you, but isn't you.
But, and I absolutely love this contrast, we're not just talking about the architecture of the multiverse. We're also going to talk about something incredibly grounded.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about getting rejected by Playboy magazine.
It is the perfect juxtaposition, isn't it? You have Seth, this infinite intelligence, pausing his lecture on the cosmos to help Jane deal with a bruised ego because she didn't sell a short story.
It's the human side of channeling right there. So let's pour a drink, settle into that leather armchair by the fire, and dive in.
Let's do it.
So set the scene for me. It's Monday, November 23rd. Is Jane in some kind of Zen-like state of higher consciousness? Is she, floating on a cloud of spiritual bliss?
Far from it.
The
vibe in the Roberts household is, let's just say it's tense. See, on Saturday, the mail came. And for a freelance writer in 1964, the mail is everything.
Oh, totally.
That mailbox is the judge, jury, and executioner of your career.
Right.
So Jane opens an envelope from Playboy magazine, and she's expecting good news.
Because she had submitted a short story she felt really good about, right? She's kind of banking on this.
Exactly. But instead of a check, she finds a rejection slip. And it's not even a nice one.
Oh, no.
No personal note from an editor saying, "Great try, send us more." Just the cold, impersonal, printed slip.
Ouch. The silent rejection.
Yeah.
That stings more than a critique. It's like the universe saying, you're not even worth a sentence.
It devastated her. And it didn't just hurt her feelings, it actually sparked a crisis of faith for her.
A crisis of faith? How so?
Well, you have to remember in an earlier session, session 104, Seth had told her that a sale has developed.
Okay.
So she's holding this slip in her hand thinking, wait a minute, the ghost said I sold it, reality says I didn't. Is Seth a liar? Is he wrong? Is this whole channeling thing just a delusion?
That's a massive moment. She's literally judging the validity of an interdimensional contact based on her commercial success as a fiction writer. It's so human.
It shows how grounded she still was. She wanted proof in the real world. She was so annoyed that she actually canceled the Saturday session.
She did.
Yeah. She essentially gave the universe the silent treatment. She was pouting.
I relate to that on a deep level.
Mm.
If you won't buy my story, I won't channel your infinite wisdom.
Yeah.
So, okay, Monday rolls around. Session 109 begins. Seth comes through. Jean's voice changes. The glasses come off. Does he ignore her bad mood? Does he just start lecturing about physics?
No, not at all. He plays the role of what I'd call a cosmic life coach.
A cosmic life coach. I like that.
He addresses the elephant in the room immediately, but his analysis of why she was rejected is fascinating for anyone who, does any kind of creative work.
So what was the diagnosis? Was the story just bad? Did Playboy just hate it?
Not exactly. Seth says the failure wasn't really about talent. It was about timing and pressure.
Yeah.
He tells her she suffered a temporary relapse caused by anxiety. And he says, and this is the key insight, you did not wait for the subconscious to deliver the idea.
Did not wait. Unpack that for me. What does he mean by that?
He's describing the mechanics of creativity. Seth argues that there's a gestation period for ideas. You have an impulse, and you need to let it cook in the subconscious. It's like baking a loaf of bread. You can't just shove the dough in the oven the second you mix it. It needs to rise.
The Jane didn't let it rise.
No, because she was desperate for the money, desperate for the validation, she tried to force the birth of the story.
How did she do that?
She grabbed a piece of her own autobiography and tried to hammer it into a story structure before it was ready. She was just impatient.
So she strangled the baby in the crib, metaphorically speaking.
That's a bit grim, but
Yeah.
yes, pretty much. Seth points out that when you force the conscious will onto the subconscious process out of impatience, you block the energy. The rejection wasn't because the universe hates her. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy born out of her own rushing.
That is such a powerful takeaway. We always think if we just work harder and faster, we get results. Seth is saying, no, you actually have to respect the rhythm of the idea.
Exactly. He calls it a momentary difficulty. And once he reframes it like that, not as a failure of talent, but a failure of patience, it just clears the air.
It's like he's telling her, stop trying to strangle your own genius.
Precisely.
Okay, so Seth talks her off the ledge about Playboy. He fixes the mood in the room, and then he does a hard pivot.
A complete 180-degree turn. He goes from writing advice to rewriting the laws of physics in the same breath.
Wow.
He says, now I would like to speak concerning the parallel development of the universe of matter, the universe of negative matter, and the universe of dreams.
Just a casual Monday night chat. Pass the popcorn, let's solve the cosmos.
Right. And he starts by attacking our most fundamental assumption about everything. The beginning.
The Big Bang.
The Big Bang, or creationism. Whatever you believe, we humans are obsessed with a start date.
Yeah.
We think there was a moment, t=0, where nothing existed, and then bang, everything existed.
Well, it's linear cause and effect. I mean, you can't have a child before the parents are born. You can't have a universe without a beginning. That's just, it's logic.
Seth says. Incorrect.
He just deletes the Big Bang. How?
He introduces a term that is absolutely central to his whole philosophy, the spacious present.
The spacious present. It sounds roomy, like a loft apartment.
It's the idea that time isn't a line, it's an expanse. He says, and I'm quoting here, in the spacious present, there simply is no past.
Wait, stop. No past. I have memories. We have history books. We have dinosaur bones. How can there be no past? That sounds like nonsense.
Well, Seth argues that what we call the past is just a different coordinate in the now. It's just a place we aren't currently focusing on.
So everything, past, present, future, it's all happening at the same time.
Simultaneously. In this vast arena.
Okay, my brain is starting to cramp. You got to help me out here. If everything happens at once, why do I experience breakfast happening before lunch? Why don't I experience my funeral before my birth?
Because your consciousness is designed to filter it linearly. And Seth gives the absolute perfect analogy to explain this. He asks you to imagine walking into a movie theater.
Okay, I'm walking in. It's dark. I've got my popcorn.
You find a seat. You look up at the screen. The movie is midway through an action scene. A car is exploding. Now, do you assume that the movie began the exact second you walk through the door?
No, of course not. I mean, the projector's been running for an hour. I just missed the start.
Exactly. But now Seth takes it a step further. Imagine that the movie reel isn't playing linearly. Imagine the entire film strip is laid out on a massive table. Every single frame exists at once.
The whole movie.
The whole movie, the beginning, the middle, and the end are all just sitting there on the table.
Okay, I can see the strip.
You, the observer, are just shining a flashlight on one specific frame at a time. You experience it as a sequence because you're moving your light along the strip. But the film itself, it's all there. It's all now.
So when we ask, when did the universe start?
Seth says that's like asking, when did the table start? The inward, individual, aware energy, which is consciousness, it exists outside of the film.
It created the film.
It created the film. It didn't start inside the movie. It is the theater.
That's humbling. It means our entire concept of history is just a perceptual trick.
It is. And here's the part that gives me chills every time I read it. Seth says the roots of the universe go in all directions.
What does that mean?
He says, and this is a quote, "It is traveling backward in time just as fast as it is traveling forward."
Whoa. Back up. Traveling backward.
Yes. In the spacious present, the universe is expanding into what we call the past, just as actively as it's expanding into the future.
So we just can't see it.
We can't see it because of our biological focus. We are wearing blinders that only let us look in one direction on that film view.
So the past isn't done. It's not set in stone.
According to Seth, no. It is being created and recreated constantly, just like the future is.
That implies that if I could just take off the blinders, I could watch the pyramids being built right now.
Or watch them being unmilled.
Yeah.
In the spacious present, all options are always open.
Okay, so we have this spacious present.
Yeah.
We have this movie theater where the show never stops. And running alongside our physical movie is this dream universe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, usually when people talk about dreams, they mean, imaginary fluff.
Right. It was just a dream.
Exactly. But Seth takes the complete opposite stance. He treats the dream universe as a solid, objective, mechanical reality.
He calls it a parallel development. It's not a phantom of the brain, it's a place.
A place you go to.
A place you construct. And what's really fascinating is that these two places, physical Earth and dream Earth, they aren't isolated.
No.
They trade with each other.
They trade, like stocks?
Like energy and information, they feed each other. It's a symbiotic relationship. And Seth uses a very concrete, very specific example to prove this. Fire.
Let's talk about the fire example, because this is what grounds all the metaphysics in, like actual human history.
Okay, so Seth explains that way, way back in our history, in the dream universe, fire existed only as a symbol.
A symbol of what?
Of destruction or transformation. It was a scary, consuming force.
Which makes sense, because physically, early humans were terrified of it. It was the thing that burned down the forest or, killed you.
Exactly. But then something shifted in the physical world. Early humans learned to master fire. They learned to control it, use it for warmth, use it for cooking.
We domesticated the plasma.
We did. And Seth says that this intellectual comprehension in the physical world actually changed the physics of the dream universe.
How so?
Because we understood fire's benefits physically, that knowledge seeped into the dream reality. Suddenly, in the dream universe, fire wasn't just a symbol of destruction anymore.
It gained new meanings.
It gained symbolistic freedoms. It could now represent warmth, comfort, and light in the dreamscape.
That is wild. It implies that our scientific or technological progress here, it literally updates the software of the dream world.
It's a two-way street. We unlock new concepts here, and they expand the dream world. And conversely, ideas are often constructed or tested in the dream world before they ever materialize here.
So if I follow this logic, when we invented the smartphone,
I know exactly where you're going with this.
did we ruin the dream universe with push notifications? Like, are dream entities now just endlessly scrolling doom Twitter because we mastered the silicon chip?
It's a funny thought, but based on Seth's logic,
Yes.
the concept of instant disembodied communication would have absolutely rippled into the dream reality. It would have unlocked new ways for energy to interact there.
Huh.
Now, whether they use it for doom scrolling is probably up to them.
That's a heavy responsibility. We are terraforming the dream world with our invention.
We are, and this connection between the two worlds leads us to one of the biggest scientific heresies Seth proposes in this entire session.
Oh, the entropy thing.
The entropy thing.
Okay, I have to play the skeptic here for a minute. For anyone who remembers high school physics, entropy is basically the second law of thermodynamics. It is a law with a capital L.
It's a big one.
It says that in a closed system, things tend toward disorder. Heat disperses. Coffee gets cold. Eventually, the universe will suffer heat death, and everything will just be a lukewarm soup of nothingness.
It's a very pessimistic law, really. It basically says energy is always slowly degrading.
And Seth says,
Entropy does not exist.
flat out, he just looks at Newton and Einstein and says, nope.
Flat out. He says, quote, no energy is not used.
But
Yeah.
my coffee does get cold. If I leave a battery on the counter, it drains. How can he say that energy isn't lost? Where does it go?
It does get cold. But Seth argues that the heat energy isn't lost. It doesn't just dissipate into uselessness.
Okay.
He explains that the energy that seems to disappear from our physical system actually leaks out. It transfers.
Transfers where?
Into the dream universe.
Real. Okay. So the steam coming off my coffee, that energy is going somewhere else to build something else.
Exactly. It's a recycling system. He says that seemingly unusable energy helps form your dream universe. It is plowed backward into inwardness, regenerated, and used to form universes without which you could not exist.
That is a wildly optimistic view of the cosmos. Nothing is wasted.
It's an ecological view of reality. It's a closed loop, but the loop includes dimensions we can't see.
Right.
If you only look at the physical world, it looks like energy is dying. But if you see the whole system, physical plus dream, it's just moving from one room to another.
And Seth tries to give us a map of this, right? He uses a spatial analogy, even though it keeps reminding us that, space is an illusion.
Yes, he knows our poor 3D brains need a picture. So he sets up what I like to call the sandwich theory.
The sandwich theory. Okay, break it down.
Imagine 3 layers. On one side, you have the entity, that's the greater core self. In the middle, you have the physical universe, that's where our ego lives. And on the other side, you have the dream universe.
So we, the physical ego, are like the slice of cheese in the middle.
Essentially. And the entity sends energy through us, through the physical, which then helps form the dream universe. We're the bridge.
And Seth says something crucial here. He says, for without the dream universe, you could not exist physically.
It's foundational. We aren't just visiting the dream world on vacation. We are structurally supported by it. It's the scaffolding that holds up physical reality.
Okay, I'm still recovering from the time travel stuff, but we have to press on because Seth introduces a third player in this game.
Mm-hmm.
We have the physical universe, we have the dream universe, and then he drops the hammer.
The universe of negative matter.
I'm sorry, but that sounds like the villain's plan in a Star Trek episode. Captain, we're approaching the negative matter zone.
It sounds ominous, I agree. But Seth is actually describing a necessary component of physics, specifically a closed energy system.
How does that work?
Well, think about the law of conservation of energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed, right?
It might just change its form.
So Seth outlines this recycling loop. The physical universe bleeds excess energy into the dream universe.
Yeah.
The dream universe uses that energy to build its reality. But the dream universe also has excess energy. It has its own leakage.
And where does that leak go?
It leaks into the universe of negative matter. It's a chain reaction. Physical feeds dream. Dream feeds negative matter.
So it's like a cosmic compost heap.
In a way, it's an ecosystem. Nothing is wasted. But here's where it gets personal and a little weird.
No.
Since these universes are parallel reflections of each other,
Well, I know where you're going with this.
if there is a physical you,
Then there is a dream me,
yeah,
a negative matter me.
precisely.
Okay, I have questions. Is he evil? Does he have a goatee? Is this the mirror universe from Star Trek?
Seth anticipates this fear. He clarifies that while this form of you exists, psychologically you are not identical.
What does not psychologically identical mean in this context?
It means that while the energy structure is a parallel of you, the consciousness inhabiting that structure has developed independently.
So it doesn't share my memories.
No, it doesn't share your personality quirks. It doesn't know what you had for breakfast. It's a stranger wearing your face.
So that is somehow scarier than an evil Quinn? It's like an imposter.
It's a parallel self. Seth says that parallel self would not be recognized by you as psychologically identical and is indeed quite independent.
So it's a distinct entity.
A distinct entity that just happens to share your energetic root system.
So if I met him, I wouldn't recognize him as me.
You might recognize the form, the face, but the mind inside would be a total stranger.
And Seth mentioned something about twins here too, right? Just to make it even weirder.
He does. He drops this little teaser about identical twins. He suggests that in some cases, slip-ups have occurred, where the barrier between these positive and negative matter universes gets thin.
Slip-ups. That implies that maybe one twin is from here and the other is.
He doesn't explicitly say interdimensional changeling, but he heavily implies that the biological connection of twins somehow touches on this boundary between positive and negative matter.
Wow.
It's one of those classic moments where Seth just throws out a crumb of information that could fill a whole other book.
It really is. So we have these three universes swirling around, recycling energy, creating doppelgangers. It's heavy, heavy stuff.
It is.
And then, just as our brains are starting to melt, Seth brings us right back to the living room in Elmira.
He does. He's very good at pacing. He knows when he's overloaded Jane and Rob.
He wraps up the lecture on physics, and then he turns to Rob Jane's husband and basically gives him a high five.
Yes. He says, "My heartiest congratulations with your own progress, Joseph."
And Rob is an artist, a painter, and apparently business is booming for him.
It is. Rob notes right there in the transcript that his sales have been growing, much to his surprise. He has 2 advance orders for work he hasn't even finished yet.
Which circles all the way back to the beginning of the episode. Jane was doubting the predictions about sales.
Exactly. This is the irony. Seth had predicted sales. Jane fixated on the Playboy sale, which didn't happen.
Right.
But the art sales were happening right under their noses the whole time.
So Seth points out that the predictions weren't wrong. Their interpretation was just too narrow. Rob is selling. The abundance is coming into the household. Jane was just staring at the specific Playboy door while the painting door was flying wide open.
It's a classic lesson in manifestation, really. You ask for success, it comes, but maybe not in the exact package you expected.
And Seth is in such a good mood about this. He describes himself as being in a frisky, companionable mood.
Frisky! I love that word choice for an ancient, non-physical entity.
It really shows his personality.
Yeah.
He's not some stoic statue. He's playful. And then comes the funniest moment of the session for me, the tech support moment.
The tape recorder.
Yes. Up until now, Rob has been writing everything down by hand, which must be exhausting.
Oh, brutal.
Taking dictation for an hour while a trans personality speaks, that's just brutal on the wrist.
Writer's cramp from the great beyond.
Seth knows this, and he jokes about their broken tape recorder. He says something like, if you ever get your recorder service, we can use it now and then.
Yeah.
When your hands are tired, we can chat.
It's just so absurd and delightful. You have this being who just explained that entropy doesn't exist and time is an illusion, and he's like, hey, fix the RCA, Victor, so we can hang out without your hand hurting.
It grounds the whole experience. It reminds you that this communication is happening between friends. Seth considers them his fond chums.
Good night, most fond chums. That's how he signs off.
It's very affectionate. So let's zoom out. We've covered a lot of ground here. We've gone from a Playboy rejection slip to the very architecture of the multiverse. What are the big takeaways?
I think there are 3 main pillars from this session.
Okay, hit me with number 1.
Number 1 is the lesson from Jane's frustration. Don't strangle your creativity with impatience.
Right.
The subconscious works on its own timeline, the spacious present, if you will. You have to wait for the idea to be delivered, not try to force it out.
Trust the process. I like that. Number 2.
Number 2 is the ecosystem of reality. Nothing is lost. Your cold coffee, your forgotten dreams, your stray thoughts, they are all energy that is being recycled into the dream universe and beyond.
We're part of a massive, efficient, interconnected system.
Exactly. We are never wasting energy. We're just moving it.
Okay. And number 3.
Number 3 is the power of the dream world. It's not a fantasy. It's a construction zone. What we achieve intellectually in the physical world unlocks new freedom in the dream world. And what happens in the dream world helps build our reality here.
So we're building reality with our minds, both awake and asleep.
We are co-creators in both realms.
That's the aha moment for me, the idea that my dreams are a parallel life that I'm actively influencing.
And that is actively influencing you.
Exactly. Now, to our listeners, we always say, don't just take our word for it. This is a deep dive. But the source material is an entire ocean.
Absolutely. We strongly encourage you to study the Seth Material books yourself. There is a texture and a nuance in the original text that, we can only summarize here.
You can find these books and so much more at the New Awareness Network website. That's sethcenter.com/the-early sessions.
And all credit for this goes to the Seth Material and the publisher, New Awareness Network. They have kept this incredible information available for decades.
And remember, we do this for free, for educational purposes, because we think this stuff matters.
It certainly changes how you look at a rejection slip.
Or a fire.
Or a mirror.
Or a movie theater. Which brings me to our final thought for the night. I want you to go back to that movie theater analogy Seth gave us.
It's such a powerful image.
You walked into the movie of your life, halfway through. The script was already running, the scenery was already built. But here's the question I want to leave you with. If you walked in halfway through, do you have the power to change the ending? Or was the script written and printed before you even bought the ticket?
That is the ultimate question of free will, isn't it?
It is. And on that note, we'll let you ponder it in the spacious present.
Good night, everyone.
Good night and sweet dreams. Literally, you've got work to do in there.